So joke was on me, friends. I had a day off on a Friday. I saw this yard sale advertised. Highlighted, you'll see it says I'm having a huge moving sale this Friday. So I drove 40 minutes to get to this huge yard sale that had supposedly women's clothing, especially teen clothings. If you read that advertisement really closely, they were going to have shoes and furniture and like all types of stuff. And I drove 40 minutes. Yeah, I was annoyed. I was pissed off. That's why I'm making this video. She had 2 racks worth of clothes and they were all clothes that nobody wanted. Exactly. One item had tags on it and that was not enough for me to have driven 40 minutes, not with the price of gas. So that was the extent of the clothing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think if you say that your yard sale is going to be huge, then it should actually be huge and you shouldn't waste my gas or my time. It's a pet peeve of mine. But this was the huge, supposedly huge yard sale. It was a total bust. Total waste of my time. Just some more, this was the extent of it, friends. And I'm sure all of you have been to yard sales like this in the past. It was a bust. I did get this mirror for $2. That is what I drove 40 minutes to get. And I got like a little organizer for my makeup. Exhibit B right here is the Craigslist listing that said that there were going to be 17 plus vendors, and there were absolutely not 17 plus vendors, more like 7. This one was totally my fault. I did not read it the right way. I thought that it said 75 vendors, but in fact, it says that there are slots for 75 vendors. But as it turns out, and as you'll see, there were not. So again, totally my fault for not reading that the right way. I thought it said that there were going to be 75 vendors. This is what the lot looked like. To say that I was completely disappointed is an understatement. But honestly, even though I was annoyed for myself, I was even more annoyed for the 3 food truck vendors who were there. Now, mind you, we got to this sale, I want to say around 11 a.m. and it started at 9 a.m. So it wasn't a situation where like a ton of other vendors were going to come. And these food trucks, I'm sure that they were sold on the idea that this was going to be a giant yard sale with a ton of tables, a ton of foot traffic. And I thought about how much money these food trucks probably spent on their product, on gas, equipment, all of that, to vend at a yard sale that I'm quite sure was sold to them was going to be a high traffic place to sell their product. I'm quite sure that all 3 of those food trucks lost a ton of money today. So that's just my little rant. It's a part of the game. Chalk it up to the game. You win some, you lose some. It's feast or famine. I just feel like people should do a better job of advertising their sales because it's false advertising.